It's been about a day now since Marcus talked to the White Prince. It wasn't entirely lucid back then, but he's feeling a bit better now. And looking back on the short talk they had, White Prince is he's a weird dude. Marcus expected some sort of evil mastermind, some like I don't know. He's the guy who like cut out Talk's tongue, right? And dethrone Xerxes and like all this like evil stuff, but he didn't seem evil. He just seemed kind of out of it. I don't know, but he was like oddly interested in my last name, which not entirely. I don't know, dude. But it's been about a day, and it's a nice little room. Marcus is starting to get bored, but it's a lot better than the prison. And at least Jacob and Addison aren't there. Get a load of these guys. It's crazy how these three people just really don't like each other. But Marcus is missing Jacob and Addison actually a bit, no matter what he tells himself. But the day goes by, and at the end of at the end of the day, their time, and Rhino Xerinx guy knocks on the door. He's like, Marcus, you have been requested to come eat dinner with the White Prince and his council. What? He's been requested, but it's not really a request. Like the Xerinx are there. They're taking him to dinner. So Marcus is like pissed off, like he always is, but goes along with them. They walk through these tunnels. They're a lot nicer than the tunnels when he was here in the prison, but they're still tunnels. And they finally get to the door, open up the door to like a dining room. Like a very nice dining room, fit for a king or a white prince, if you will. And seated at the head table across from the door is the White Prince Xander himself. And there's several other people here. There's, to his right, a very tall Eloir, the owl people. She looks older than Ellie did. Then we've also got like a Xerinx guy. He's kind of got like a military outfit on. There's some Taun, the cat boys, the big cat men, should I say? Is there too? There's a gnome, like an engineer. There's several of the Xerinx Rhino people, and there's a seat at Xander's left, Marcus. So Marcus walks over, sits down at an incredibly awkward dinner table. But luckily, there's food. And across this table, Marcus is looking at the food and like, this is Earth food. That's like a salad with lettuce and tomatoes, and it looks like mashed potatoes, and there's something that's chicken, maybe? Meat that looks like chicken. And Marcus thinks back. We haven't really talked about like the food that they've been eating so far, but it's been travel food. It's been like bread and cheese and nuts and berries. There was the one time with the flower people where they ate the fruit off of the flower people, but it hasn't been meals. It's just been. And like looking back at that food, it was kind of like Earth food, as much as bread and cheese can be. But this could be like a dinner with his family. Best not to think about that. But, he's surprised, and Xander, the White Prince, looks over at Marcus and is like, surprised? We, surprisingly, the vegetables and fruits here are almost identical to the food back on Earth. Chicken, of course, isn't quite chickens, as you would say, but it's similar. So please, dig in, get some food. So, and so Marcus, serves himself some food, and they start eating. And then the White Prince starts talking to his council, and the stuff they're talking about is boring. Marcus doesn't care about. Marcus was prepared to like come in and like yell at the White Prince at this stupid meeting, but they're talking about like supply lines. Um, they're talking to the camp boys about like getting all the food that they grow and getting it to one place, and then like how they've been counting and how the harvest is looking. And he's talking to the gnome about like refrigerators, a way to like cool the food. And he's talking to the Elawir about like transporting the food, and it's really just all they're talking about is food. And Marcus doesn't care because he's got mashed potatoes and chicken and there's green beans now. He's having a feast. But it goes on, and finally something does sound interesting to him. Marcus stops shoveling his face. You know, it's like the first meal he's had. But Xander asks one of the Zerings about an expedition they went on. He asks just how it went. Apparently, this expedition has just finished and they've come back. And the Zerings is like, it's the same as it's always been. We went out past the mountains, further past the mountains than we'd ever seen before, and it's still mountains. Still mountains and snow. We walked about a week, saw more mountains, walked a week back, mountains and snow. There's no end in sight. As far as we looked, more mountains, more snow. Just keeps going. And the White Prince seems disappointed in this, but kind of looks off and is like, well, then we'll have another expedition soon. He asks the gnome how the like travel invention and like little med kit things are going. You need warmers for these expeditions, and it kind of seems like the council doesn't really care too much about this expedition, but you know they're answering him. He's the White Prince, and you know, the gnome's like, yeah, we're working on it. We've got these insulated jackets that me and the boys have been working on, so that'll probably work out. And the Zering's captain who went out is fine with it. I mean, he's like, it's mountains and snow, but that's the situation with that. And then it's back to food. Back to eating food and the White Prince talking about food. And eventually, the meal ends, and Marcus is like, why am I here? I mean, the food's great, but like, I just sat and listened. This is very, very strange, not what he expected, but food's food, so the White Prince is like, alright, well, we're done here. Everybody, back to your duties. Marcus, would you like to walk with me? Marcus is like, no, but you know, he does it. And as they're walking out the room, he like looks back and like little E.T. looking people walk in. And they're like this tall, like, and they're gray and like kind of smooth, and they've got these long arms, giant bald heads with huge eyes, but no mouth. And they got like slits in their head that might be ears, but these guys are weird looking. You know, a lot of the things he's seen, the flower people, the rhinos, there's cat people, there's owl people, they're kind of like animals, but these are like creatures. They're weird looking. They come in, they get the dishes, and they stack everything up, and they walk out. And the White Prince looks back at them, and he's like, yes, yes. Those are the Klee. Klee. I've tried talking to them, but you know, they have no mouth. I feel like they talk with their mind to each other. They seem to always don't know, they understand what I'm saying. They seem to be able to communicate to each other. But there's one I've taken a special interest in. I've been talking to him regularly, but can't even get a name out of him. When I'm near them, I hear this rhythm in my mind, but some sort of like humming. But that's as far as it goes. And Marcus like kind of looks at them and he faintly hears a rhythm in his mind, but I don't know. These guys are weird looking. So you know what? No, Marcus does have a question. He's like, so they're like your servants? Do you pay them for this? What exactly is your relationship with these Klee? And the White Prince kind of looks at them and is like, well, nobody here is paid. They do their parts just like the rest of us do. I don't know. That's Nazi stuff right there. I don't know what this guy's talking about. But anyways, they get marching. They go back to Marcus's room, and White Prince comes into the room and sits down. Great. And the White Prince asks Marcus, what year was it when you left Earth? Marcus is kind of taken aback, but he tells him, and Xander's eyes kind of go wide, and he's like, interesting. You know, Marcus, I've been here for what I think is 4 years now. But apparently on Earth, it's been almost 30. You know, that's never what you want to hear. Mark is like, well, great. That's fantastic. And then, you know, Xander just keeps asking Marcus questions about Earth. Marcus was an incredibly smart guy, but he tells him like general politics and general, I don't know, like what the weather's like and how technology is gone and cars and phones and food and Xander just keeps asking questions and seems remarkably interested. But he keeps going back to how it's been 30 years, and he's like, that doesn't make sense. It's not. That's. I did that. How could it have been supposed to be the other way? And Marcus doesn't understand what the dude's talking about, but how did he even do math? How would he know? This is so stupid, but that doesn't matter. And then the White Prince is like, no. Marcus is like, all right, enough about Earth. Enough about Earth. What is going on here? What is your deal? You like talk about food at this entire meeting, but yet you have these Klee servants, these unpaid workers, and you like overthrew the Xerxes and like invaded all these different. What are you? What is your deal? And the White Prince is not taken aback at all. He's like, yeah. Well, the simplest answer is, of course, food. You see, Marcus, when I first arrived here and was welcomed into the Xerinx capital, they had this storehouse filled with food. An insane amount of food. And that's where it all came from. But they said that they've always been getting their food from here, and it hasn't been an issue. But when I was walking through and looked around, I did the math. I calculated the rate they were eating this food. It would last maybe 5 years. And a year passed, and I kept asking Xerxes, like, what's to do with this storehouse? And Xerxes was like, well, it's never run out before. We've always food will always be there. And that couldn't be. And it was about then when the prophecy told me that I could take control and I could help them get the food they need. Because the Thon, these people had farms. These people were growing excess amounts of food, and I saw that together they could feed maybe multiple of the kingdoms. And the prophecy showed me that together we could do this. And that's generally what's been going on. Here's the real thing. 5 years of food. I've opened up communications, Marcus, with the Raw and all these other big cities, the ones that I can reach, and they're in the same situation. They have these storehouses too of food that just was always there. But I've been here for 4 years. Our storehouses are looking fine now because of the food we've grown here, and same with the Elawir and Nibs. It looks like it's going well, but if my sources are correct, then Raw should be running out. They have about a year left of food, and I've tried working with the Drakeen and like opening up channels, but it's the same thing. About these, the food's always been there. So the prophecy says that we can unite them. We can get the food to everyone, and it'll work out. And Marcus is so confused because half of this conversation, half of this like speech the White Prince is making is like, I want to help feed everyone. I want to get the food to everybody, and like, that kind of makes sense. And the other half is this prophecy. It's like he's like switching in and out of like Looney Town. And Marcus is not entirely sure what to make of this. But then the White Prince kind of looks off and he's like, the prophecy. Yes, you have a role too. We're going to send you to Raw. We're going to let you go in Raw. Yes. Yes, that will work. And Marcus is like, what do you mean? Why? What am I supposed to do in Raw? Well, you're just gonna like leave me there? Do you even know how to get there? And the White Prince is like, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. There's a way. There is a way. We will send you to Raw, as the prophecy says you will go to. And Marcus not having it. He's like, can I see this prophecy? Can I please see this prophecy? It's saying that I will go to Raw, so I have to go to Raw. What are you talking about, dude? But this kind of sets the White Prince off. He like stands up and he's like, you cannot see the prophecy. The prophecy is mine alone, and you do not doubt the prophecy. Everything that is said has come to pass, and everything that it says will come to pass, and you will go to Raw. And as the White Prince says this, the room, like, it's cold. Marcus like shivers. He's like, what is with this guy? And the White Prince is like, there'll be no further conversation on this. I will arrange you safe passage. We'll go soon. Yes. Yes, you will go soon. Farewell for now, Marcus. Storms out of the door. As the White Prince leaves, the room kind of goes back to its normal temperature. Marcus. Great. I guess I'm going to Raw.